They say a picture can speak 1,000 words, but what actually are those words? Today, me and Zoe are going to be sharing a couple of pictures from significant points in our lives and telling you the stories behind them.
Well, my first picture is of my aunt, my siblings, and I'm on the right with the purple, and my mom. This is a Disney Animation Studios, and it's like our first time or one of our first times going there, and it was really, really interesting to see like my aunt actually working there and giving us a tour. That was really special, and I think that impacted me because that's when I really, really knew like I wanted to go into animation or something of that sort.
This picture is from, I think, one of the first plays I ever did. I haven't done that many, but I had always really enjoyed acting and entertaining and making a fool of myself in general. but yeah, it was with the Dyslexia Association of Singapore because I'm dyslexic. So we did a play, I can't remember what on, it was on the education system or something. That was the first role I got that I worked on for more than like 2 weeks.
Wow, and you're the one all the way on the left?
I was the one all the way on the left, the little one.
Okay, that's me all the way on the left as well, and my mom and my sister. And this is a trip that we took, what was it? 2017, I think. And this is when we knew that we were definitely moved out of Kazakhstan. Now I spent like 13 years there, and it was shocking to be like definitely gone or moved away. And then we knew on this trip that we're also moving to Singapore.
Ooh.
So that was like a big transition. I looked very happy, but I was very confused.
Oh. Where was this trip to?
This trip was in California. I think we were driving back to Los Angeles from Kings Canyon.
This next picture is from the very first trip I ever took to Phun Soling, which is in Bhutan. My bad, broskies! This isn't Phun Soling, I think it might be Paro, which is home to Bhutan's only international airport. And back then, me and my brother really had a thing for rivers because we don't get rivers quite like that in Singapore. Our rivers are kind of just like giant drains. I didn't know it at that point in time, but I would end up spending a huge amount of my preteen and early teenage years in Bhutan.
Okay, this is California Institute of the Arts, also known as Cal Arts, where a lot of animators, not almost all of them, go to and graduate. It's also the college that Disney founded. And I spent 4 weeks there by myself, like 12 hours, 6 days a week, and I could only go out from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I could leave the campus. And I think this was such a pivotal part because there I did a lot of visual arts and I realized that's not what I want to do in my future, but I really enjoyed it. And also it was a really big part because I really did not want to apply. I was very intimidated. It's a rigorous program and it's really difficult to get into, and somehow I got in, and that was really amazing that I got in, and my parents really encouraged me to apply, and here it was, finished with the program.
And now you're in college, so something must have gone right.
Yeah.
I did these dog collars mostly because, I really like animals. Animals have always been a huge passion of mine, and I was like, there are all these street dogs all over the streets of Bhutan. A lot of these pictures are from Bhutan because that's where most of my significant memories are from. But this was not only my first legitimate venture into design, but also kind of my first failed business. Like last year I took a course in entrepreneurship and I was like, oh my gosh, I did everything you told me not to do. Yeah, so I did these in conjunction with Renew, which is this woman's, originally it was like a home for abused women and children, but now they have opened it up to anybody facing abuse, whether you're a woman, you're a man, you're a child, or anybody in between, because abuse can happen to anybody. And what they do basically is they teach, at least when I was there, they would teach the woman how to weave and sew, and they would create handbags and kira, which were their traditional clothes, and these were made of the kira. And I would donate 20% of the proceeds to the RSPCA in Bhutan, which is not affiliated with the RSPCA that is everywhere else in the world.
Okay. Did you like make the colors or like?
Oh, so okay, I made the first prototype. These are technically prototype stage, but I got very lucky in the sense that because the design was so simple, I only needed like one prototype and they got it instantly, and it was just after that making sure that they were kind of consistent. So I didn't manage to sell everything, so I've still got a box of them in my closet at home, but no dogs to put them on. The kira is the national dress of Bhutan for women, and the go is the men's equivalent. And here I used parts of the kira. Traditionally, these would be hand woven, but in today's day and age, a lot of them are machine made. So this is machine made kira.
Okay, this is like my first time ever going to LaSalle.
Is that your mom in the picture?
My mom is in the picture. And that was like just a random picture, but then I stumbled across it while I was looking for pictures, and I was like, wow, I had no idea that I was going to spend the next 2 years, because I'm almost done with my first year, at this school. Like, above it is where my classroom is.
Ooh, whoa.
Right? Yeah, that's the window I look out every day.
How far you've come. Look at
I
you.
know, right? So this is early 2020.
This picture was the view from my brother's bedroom. I actually wanted this bedroom, but I never got it because my brother got it instead of me. So this is the view from my brother's bedroom, also in Bhutan. I think I took this on the first day we were ever at our apartment. And yeah, I would look out of it a lot, and I do miss this view. To the far left, you can see like this little gray building, and that is a hotel that we had stayed at years before
Oh my gosh.
we ever moved, and we had gone over there, I think for some business or something, but we had stayed there before we ever even thought about moving to Bhutan. And then who knew, like a couple of years later, we would be moving in right across the street.
Yeah. Wow, it's so green, but it's such a different green than Singapore.
It is. I feel like it's a
Yeah.
lot more of a weird, it's still rich, but it's kind of like a muted green as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the houses kind of like the houses that I saw in like Kazakhstan, like the big houses. Yeah. Oh,
These
it's
are
so
all
cool.
like the Bhutanese rich people houses.
Oh, okay. There we go. This was my first mission trip. This is like January 2020 to Surabaya, and I went with IBC International Church. That trip was very interesting because my expectations were very different, but also it was like a sewing trip where these women are sewing so that they can support themselves and their families, and they sell it to like internationally, mostly in like Southeast Asia though. And I got to sew with them, and a designer from Jakarta came, and it was really, really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, and a seamstress from Jakarta also came, and they like worked on Jakarta Fashion Week. Yeah.
Wow.
So I went there with a couple of other women, and it was a really eye-opening experience because we also went to their houses and visited them and saw where they worked. And since I could sew, it was really fun doing what they did.
This was taken in Cambodia in, what was it, 2017, 2018? I can't quite remember. But this was the first picture I took that I think I was really proud of, because to me it told a story. I just thought it was really interesting because I'd seen this in Bhutan as well, but the monks would like go around and owning cars and iPhones, and the traditional view of a monk is that, you know, you're living a very minimalist life, like nothing belongs to you. And I think like it just showed me that the culture is changing all across the world when it comes to how society and religion interact. And I thought that this was a very good representation of it, because here you have these two monks who, I don't know what their lives are like, but obviously they can go to a nice cafe and have a cup of coffee in the afternoon where there's air conditioning and everything. And just 50 years ago, it would never have happened, I
Yeah.
guess. And I just thought it was interesting to see how things have changed and how this wasn't specific to only Cambodia or Bhutan, but probably found in other parts of the world as well.
Wow.
I think this is also what really got me sold on street photography, because it's moments like this that it's just once and it's gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
And the light was really pretty too. I mean, like,
Yeah.
the light was really pretty.
Really great.
Yeah. Those are pictures from our lives that have, in some way or another, impacted us. And we hope you enjoyed this little insight of what goes on in our heads and our lives. If you are interested in hearing more about Zoe's life, you can listen to her episode with us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And you can, we already plugged her Instagram, so you can go follow her there. But you can also follow us on Instagram at the.sociallyawkwardpodcast. We post videos every week and a new episode of the podcast every month. Until next time.